Hello, everyone. I found this document on TikTok. I will tag the creator below. This is an affidavit from MICA's brother and sister. To start, I would like to apologize for the mispronunciation of her name. I don't look into the cases too much before because I want to go into it as clear from bias as possible. So all I did was read articles. I didn't listen to how her name was being said. So MICA, not MICA. So I want to look into this affidavit here. It is from Kyler _ not _ Tyler on TikTok. I will tag the creator below. This is an affidavit of MICA's brother and sister. Between the state of South Carolina, county of Horry, Horry, in the matter of the estate of Micah A. Miller. Sierra Francis is the petitioner. I believe that's her sister. Okay, so besides the affidavit, anything that I am saying throughout this video is alleged, my opinion, not facts. Anything else that I'm reading from this document, which I will link below. Personally, before me, Sierra Francis, who after first being duty sworn responses and states the following: I am the petitioner in the proceedings which are pending before probate court as the appointment of special administrator of my sister's estate. I am Micah's younger sister, having been raised by our parents, Michael and Angelita, with our siblings Nathaniel, Anna, and Abby. We ultimately settled in Myrtle Beach. I was aware of Micah's family dynamics and relationship with her husband and the children. Micah and I spoke every few days, texting daily, so much as to even create playlists together. Micah would drive to visit me and my family in Gaffney, South Carolina, at least once a month. I know my sister to have expressed the abuse and violence against her by her husband to others, including family members and members of the church congregation. So let's start there. Pull a couple tarot and a couple clarifiers and see the message from Micah about what her sister is saying in this document. I think it's bigger. No, okay. I know my sister to have expressed the abuse and violence against her by her husband to others, including family members and members of the church congregation. Emperor in reverse coming out first, a man losing his cool. The Fool in reverse to me here is should have known better. So this is something that if I should have known better, this has occurred before and I've gotten some kind of consequences from it, and I'm still not stopping, showing that I know better than what I'm choosing to do, and I'm losing my cool. Six of Cups, Six of Swords in reverse says to me, I know that they weren't her children, they were stepchildren, but I do feel like there's some bit of leverage there. Either it was him knowing her desire to have that family dynamic, or her not wanting to leave the children behind in the environment that she was trying to get out of. But this to me reads like a man that should have known better because he's done something in the past similar, gotten consequences, and didn't learn his lesson. That man losing his cool or not being able to control himself. And this is some semblance of using the children for leverage. So to me, it kind of feels like this is most likely Micah fearing for what would happen to the children if she wasn't there to be the one that was being mistreated by the husband. Let's pull 2 clarifiers for more info about that part. Affair in reverse. Marriage, wedding in reverse. People knew about the abuse. Marriage, wedding, and affair. I would say that this reads like the rumor, like MICA was talking to people to try and get into a safe position. And it also feels like people were talking about what they knew to be true about him stepping out on the marriage anyway. MICA told me that there were people following her, keeping track of where she went, which is interesting because in the last reading we got surveillance being a factor. She thought that Mr. Miller hired people to follow her. Mr. Miller later confirmed this during a sermon I watched. We're going to break that into 2 parts. MICA told me that there were people following her, keeping track of where she went. She thought that Mr. Miller hired people to follow her. 10 of Swords in reverse, the Empress in reverse. 4 of Pentacles, King of Wands. Okay, so 10 of Swords in reverse. A painful ending, but reversed next to the Empress in reverse. This to me is getting people to follow her, because this would be him taking action. And look, it's the lion that's right behind him, like following her down. This would be laying the groundwork or establishing the foundation on which to build a certain narrative. And the certain narrative that he was trying to build by having her followed is that she was unwell. This is like she desperately needs healing, or she's going to meet a painful ending. If she doesn't get her world fixed and unflipped upside down, she's going to have a painful ending. So what this says to me is him getting people to follow her was to get, I guess, footage is what you could call it, or either get footage on her or mess with her mentally to paint the narrative that she was losing her mind. I'm laying the groundwork and setting the foundation. I'm taking action. I'm stalking her down to paint the picture that she desperately needs healing and she needs some kind of intervention is how I want to word that. So him having her followed, trying to push her to the point where either she visibly looked like she needed an intervention or push her to the point, how do I word this? Either I'm trying to push you to the point where you visibly, from the outside looking in, look like you need some kind of intervention because it looks like you're losing your mind, or I'm trying to get footage on you that could paint the picture that you are losing your mind, is what I'm getting with that. Deep state, the plan is very intricate. Deep state and delays. Deep state and delays. So following her or making her be in fear. Delays. Deep state. The plan was deep and intricate. Delay. Is this saying that there was instances where the people who were following her would interact with her in some way to get her reactions? Woods or forest? Hidden, concealed. So no, that wouldn't be that. What's deep state and delays meaning? Low vibes. People following her to try and scare her to buy time so that she would feel like she was protected by the pastor and would take longer to leave him, or would feel like it's dangerous to leave him and would not, and then hence buy time. Rival in reverse before the fight started. Is it fair to say that he was working on something so that when the inevitable divorce came to be, because I think it said something like 2 years ago, there was like steps towards either a separation or something. I don't know where I read it, but it feels like it's the energy of, I know this is inevitable, but I'm trying to get my ducks in a row before this unfolds. And then when he was served with the papers 48 hours before, or was it 2 weeks? Whichever one it was, when he was served with the papers, it was like the realization of, okay, what I've been trying to buy time for, I'm out of time. Trafficking in reverse, so stopping the movement. I'm out of time. I have no more ground. I have no more time. Time for what? What was he trying to buy time for? 3 cards. Flight, secret weapon in reverse, meeting in reverse. What was he trying to buy time for? To go somewhere in private that no one would know about the meeting between the two of them. What would this meeting have been about? Contract and paperwork in reverse. Contract and paperwork in reverse, like a contract between the two of them, whoever this meeting is between, or contract paperwork in reverse, like trying to do something that would make a contract that was already in existence be no more, like a, for example, like a marriage, like getting rid of a marriage. No, that wouldn't be it though. What does contract paperwork mean? Let's do it that way. Red flag, crossroad in reverse. Red flag, end of the road. Waving the red flag, warning, end of the road. Warning, end of the road. End of the road, contract paperwork in reverse. Was he meeting with was he planning on having some kind of meeting with someone to get rid of her? And then when he got served the paperwork, it made it so he was out of time and had to do things quicker or change the plans? Grandparent, connecting like old times. Who's connecting like old times? Him and the other person that was on the other side of the contract? War. Oh, okay. So my partner in a battle. My partner in a battle. Show me the husband's role on his side of this contract paperwork and the other person's role on their side. What's the husband's role? Death and rebirth in reverse. So I don't want to be the one to take her life. I want to get someone else to do it. The other person, temperance. I'll restore the balance for you. I'll be what you need to restore the balance in your life. Energy between the two of them. A team. They're a team. I almost want to say friend, or like some kind of friendly. Nope. 6 of Pentacles in reverse on the bottom of the deck with the Knight of Cups. 10 of Wands. A one-way offer that was a heavy burden for the person on the other side. So you owe me, or you must. Okay. Oh, Mr. Miller later confirmed this during a sermon I watched. I don't even know what cards to use. What can we know about him alluding to or admitting to having her followed during a sermon? Oh, truth. right? MICA confided in me that Mr. Miller was moving assets that were in his name, such as his vehicle, changing the deed to their house to the church, transferring interest in Crocodile Rocks to one of his sons. What can we know about moving assets and whatever else that he was doing? Outer space, getting them out of this space that MICA could reach them in, I guess you could say. Republican in reverse, conspiracy theory in reverse. So it's not a conspiracy. He was actually doing it, using or abuse of power to do so, to get it out of wherever it was and away from MICA. In February 2024, Mr. Miller removed my sister's personal items from the home they shared while she was admitted to the mental health facility and left them at the apartment of Diana. My sister was not aware that her personal possessions had been removed from her residence until she was released from the hospital. What was his, I don't know, why did he choose to do that? Knight of Swords in reverse, the World. I want to tell you without telling you that I'm trying to wrap up this cycle. I'm trying to end this cycle. Nine of Swords, he was worried about what? Wow, that's direct. I said Nine of Swords, he was worried about what? I'm worried about getting stuck in a lie. Or I'm worried about not being able to get unbounded from a lie. When she was in a mental health facility. Unbounded to a lie. Was the lie that he was gaslighting her and making her feel like she needed to be in there when she really didn't? Or was the lie something he told the actual facility to get her admitted that wasn't true? So was the lie something he said to her? Real news. Real news to which one? Military in reverse, an operation being exposed. Could still go either way. Partner, spouse in reverse. Okay, so the lie was not to her. Okay, so yes, that is correct, because real news. Operation being exposed, spouse, partner in reverse. So it would be him lying to whoever was admitting her, or I guess like if he had a chance to talk to them, not being forthright in that interview. So he did not want to get caught in a lie. Because he needed to continue to gaslight her to make her feel like she was crazy after leaving the facility. Communication in reverse, because he didn't want her to talk. God. Oh, didn't want. Is it fair to say that after she left the facility, he tried to make her feel uncomfortable around church so he could kind of keep her separate, make her feel uncomfortable, and then further paint the picture that she was crazy because she would have felt uncomfortable around the community? Yes. Okay. Prior to her admission to that facility, I don't know how to say that word, MICA was gathering and sorting the evidence she had to bring to an attorney for filing for divorce to support her claims against Mr. Miller, and as to her abuse, and as to his abuse, character, his paramours and associates he paid off or blackmailed. While at the facility, those documents, emails, files, etc., were removed from her phone, personal laptop, vehicle, and purse and never recovered. Further, MICA was unable to access her iCloud account, email, or Facebook profile. Mr. Miller continued using at least one of MICA's accounts, causing any recipient to believe it was MICA's communications. Okay. Let's start with the first part. Let's start with if MICA had to choose 3 cards that would summarize what that binder of information was meant to do, what would they be? Witness in reverse, ego, to expose the ego that he typically is able to conceal. Nobody sees his ego. What was the binder supposed to do? Expose it. Confirmation. So that what was the binder supposed to do? The binder was supposed to have everyone else be able to see him the way that she sees him, but he hides from everyone else, his ego. And being a man of God, the ego shouldn't be in the lead. Being a man of God, the ego shouldn't be in the lead. It shouldn't be the ego. I put this over top of ego, so it should be the alignment with the lack of ego. Okay. What can we know about when she was at the facility, these things being removed or destroyed, or travel, portal, and revert? Travel, portal, and reverse. So see how there's like the passport would be a version of an important document, and then portal in reverse. When it's in reverse, I always say portal to hell. So travel, the important documents traveled out of where MICA had them and into never to be seen again type energy, disappearing in the portal to hell. Corruptions, money exchanging hands to take the important documents and get rid of them. Mr. Miller continued using at least one of MICA's accounts, causing any recipient to believe it was MICA's communications. Can we know about that? Secret society solved, corrupted media source in reverse. Causing any recipient to feel like it was MICA. It feels like there was something specific that he was trying to get out of this. Like, I'm trying to see, I guess it's an ego or a power thing, but corrupted media source being reversed, I want to see a real response from you. It's weird. Why? Why was it that he wanted to see real responses from people? Was it that he knew they were about to be really hurt? Or was he trying to figure something out? Because solved could be, I'm trying to put the pieces together. Almost like I'm trying to gauge how I'm going to need to handle myself based off of people's reactions or responses. Oh, a power. Oh, okay. So ego, power would be ego. I know that you're about to be really sad about what's going to happen, and I am abusing my power to interact, almost like, I guess in a way, like feeling like he's abusing having higher knowledge because he knew what was about to come. Okay, these cards, I guess. Oh. What did I say? Abusing having a higher power of knowledge that he knew was about to come. Psychic abilities, because he knew it was about to come. He knew that the people he was talking to from her phone were about to be very heartbroken of what was going to happen. Love in reverse. Obvious that, but also fear would be love in reverse. Surveillance in reverse and self-sabotage in reverse. Surveillance in reverse. I want you to watch me. Self-sabotage in reverse. I want you to know. It's almost like he wanted to get them worried about her, to get them riled up, to then be like, well, if you look at these text messages and you would have looked into them further, maybe you could have seen that she needed you or something like that. Like, it's like that. It's like he wants to make other people feel guilty for what he knew that he was going to be a part of. Is that fair to say? Yeah, family, because that's who he was texting. Oh, all right. Micah talked about what she wanted her life to be like following her divorce from Mr. Miller. Having traveled for a church mission this past fall from October 15th through the 27th, Micah was intending to participate in additional missions, even to live part-time in Kenya. Micah recently shipped some of her personal items to Kenya in preparation for her stay there. Huh. Death in reverse. Wow, that's... I was doing all that because I wasn't planning to die. Is that the message? I was doing all that because I wasn't planning to die. I was doing all that because I wasn't planning to die. Recently shipped some of her items. Government. She wasn't planning to die. Government. Is it fair to say she wasn't planning to die plus government? She knew that she needed that no contact order to be a protective order. Like she knew, because if she did this to herself, which I do not believe that she did, one who's in that state may do something like get an order of protection, but not necessarily all the way need the order of protection, but more it's like a mental crisis. What this says to me, she knew she needed the protection of that order, which is why she got the order. And it was not just something that she was doing in the midst of a mental health crisis. Like, the fear that she picked up on him from him was valid in that sense, is what I'm meaning. Light at the end of the tunnel. The protective order didn't think she was going to die because she thought that she was going to be protected, and that was going to be the light at the end of the tunnel. The protection was meant to be the light at the end of the tunnel. I have a confirmation from Micah if that is the message. Angel. My sister was hopeful for her future after filing for divorce from John Paul. My sister also expressed to me that she was fearful that she would not make it to the divorce and that her life would be taken from her. It is my belief, based on conversations with my sister, that she told multiple people, including other family members. Let me actually clean all these cards up 1 second. Okay. Expressed to me that she was fearful she would not make it to the divorce and that her life would be taken from her. It is my belief that she's told multiple people, including family members, about this. So, what can we know about? Oh, one second. Actually, I kind of want to feeling called to take this whole pile. So I feel like that kind of happened for a reason. So let's see what we got. Oh, anger is on the floor. Okay, so she was fearful she would not make it to the divorce proceedings. We're starting with anger. Surveillance. He was angry and was tracking her. Family in reverse because she wanted to leave. Government in reverse. He was angry and watching her, knowing she wanted to leave, needing to do something that was the reason he was watching her before it got to the actual proceedings of the divorce, so that there wasn't a light at the end of the tunnel. Mental health in reverse. I need to expose. Oh, he was angry and was watching her to figure out a way to negatively expose her mental health before the divorce proceedings so that she could not get what she wanted out of them, which was just to be okay. Self-sabotage underneath of family. He needed it to look like this fell apart because of her mental health and not because of him. Because everyone was going to be talking about him. He was the one who was the leader role in the church. Warning alarm in reverse. Underneath a tunnel in reverse. How do I word this? The surveillance and the following was to paint the picture that there were missed warning signs before this happened so that it looked like it was all on her and open and shut so that people did not look further into him and his ego. We got these two cards in the last pool. This was ego and portal to hell. Real information. So corrupted media source in reverse. So if she were to tell her side of the story without him sabotaging her reputation first, people would believe what she had to say. Corrupted media source in reverse. So a true, accurate media source versus his ego. Upon the separation, couple in reverse. Confirmation, accomplice partner in reverse. So upon the separation. This almost says to me, from the outside looking in, if she were to speak and say what it is that she was going to say in the divorce hearing, couple on this one and accomplice partner on this one, is almost like people within the congregation would start to see that she really wanted love out of this connection and that he fooled her into thinking that's what it was. Whereas for him, accomplice partner in reverse, it's like, I need you by my side to complete the image that I need to portray to those who follow me. So like essentially like a trophy wife. Solved. I think that's just a confirmation. Corruption in reverse and power in reverse. So all of this boils down to abuse of power and or payoffs and deals behind the scenes. And again, we're referring to MICA feeling like she won't even make it to the divorce hearing. So all of this is saying he was angry that she was leaving, and he needed to paint the picture of her mental health being the reason that they were separating so he could maintain his role in front of the congregation. He needed to make her feel like there was no light at the end of the tunnel and that things were hopeless, so that she did not expose his ego, because she had proof of his ego and people would listen to her unless he first destroyed her mental health. And he needed to have certain things in place so that it looked like there were warning signs missed and that she was on a slippery slope downhill, so that it didn't come out that she was genuine in this connection and he was trying to have her fill a role to maintain a certain image in front of his congregation, allegedly, my opinion. MICA stated to me on many occasions, quote, "If I end up with a bullet in my head, it was not by me, it was JP." If I end up with that, it was not me, it was JP. 3 cards and a clarifier. Communication, that's what I said, as in MICA. I said that. Yes, I did say that. Debt in reverse. I'm giving you what I think you deserve, as in him to MICA, because a debt is you owe me. Debt in reverse is I'm giving you what I think you deserve. So she believed that he believed she, I almost want to say, was like damaged goods and didn't deserve to be here. I don't know what just made me say that, but that's really sad. I feel like that's how he made her feel. I have one card, extra card from MICA about that, what I just said. Made her feel like she was damaged goods and didn't deserve to be here. I can't get. It's the same. Greed and debt, both in reverse. Confirmation. Greed being exposed to is like, I guess I'd say like draining her for everything that she has, like making her feel completely depleted. Like I take. All right. So that's the 2. Communication, debt in reverse. Taking a gift back, gift in reverse. So if I end up with that in my head, it was not me, it was him. Yes, I said that. That was what he felt like I deserved, taking back me not being here. Gift in reverse. MICA forwarded a family group text message notifying us that Mr. Miller was served the divorce papers on April 25th, 2024. Death in reverse, because I wasn't planning on taking my own life. I was planning on leaving him. Marriage, wedding. I was not planning on taking my own life. I was planning on leaving the marriage. Confession. I was not planning on taking my own life. I was planning on leaving the marriage. And then on April 27th, my sister was found unalived as a result of a gunshot wound in Lumberton, North Carolina. So give me 3 cards for the date or the time in between April 25th and April 27th when it comes to MICA and the husband. Republican in reverse, abuse of power, mind control in reverse. I'm no longer able to, he's no longer able to control the narrative. Rival in reverse. There's only room for one of us type energy. Neighborhood in reverse. There's only room for one of us in this neighborhood, and it's not you, as in him to her. And then it just says, I have the full support of my family to be the administrator. Oh, there's one from the sister and there's one from the brother. Okay, well, let's go into it. Let me collect all these cards. 1 second. Okay, so it starts off petitioner Sierra Francis. Hold on, sorry. Wait. Oh, it's also from her. It's just a different. Okay. Micah confided in me that John Paul moved her belongings out of their marital residence. Oh, wait, and in with Diane. I received communication in the past from John Paul stating that he knew no reason for divorce, but wanted a separation and gave reasons why. The email I received on April 3rd, 2023, included a forwarded email from Mr. Miller to Micah dated April 1st, 2023. To an email address that did not appear to be Micah's. Just 2 weeks later, Micah forwarded me an email from Mr. Miller dated April 15th to her correct email address as shown. Micah told me of legal documents she prepared so that I would be able to make decisions for her well-being. However, those documents were not located. The only legal documents discovered appointed Mr. Miller as her power of attorney. So there were documents stating that he wanted separation, not divorce, not to her, but then eventually forwarded it from her. So it's like he sent it to himself and then eventually sent it to her or something to that effect. And then that was not found, but there was something found with her giving him power of attorney. What can we know about that? Caregiver. Royalty in reverse. That's very direct. Royalty is something that you're given from something, like given your royalties, given what's due to you, given what you've earned. Did not earn caregiver role. Did not earn power of attorney, or was not given power of attorney. So fair to say that there's something shady in how he came to be power of attorney. Yeah, that's the same card that just represented him in the last pool, as in John Paul. Micah made several police reports over the last few weeks of her tires being slashed and tracking devices found on her car. In Mr. Miller's email forwarded to me, he apologizes to Micah for the tires and causing damage to her vehicle. What can we know about that? Conspiracy theory. Corruption. Fire in reverse. A lie told to put out the fire. Tires slashed and tracking devices found in her car. A lie told to put out the fire. Is it fair to say that at that time he told MICA that that was for her own safety? Like, I'm tracking you because I'm worried for your mental health and I'm gaslighting you into feeling like you need a babysitter. Aliens in reverse. So I do belong. I'm trying to make you feel like what I'm doing makes sense and belongs. So essentially what I mean is I feel like when she discovered those things and said something to him, his response to her was something along the lines of, well, your mental health is not good, so I want to be able to have eyes on you to make sure that you're okay. I'm very worried about you. Stranger in reverse. So like, stranger upright would be, I don't know why these people are following me. Stranger in reverse is I'm sending them because I'm worried about you. Mr. Miller's email to my sister continued to state that he was anger, when MICA confided or put her family before him, in quotes, and that made him want to hurt her. In his words, when someone hurts me, I try to hurt them back rather than forgive, end quote. And, quote, instead of me forgiving you, I just attack and try to cause pain, end quote. So where do I even start with that? What can we know about him getting angry when he felt like MICA put family or other people before him? Blackmail, neighborhood, faked death in reverse. I'm trying, how do I put this? Blackmail. I'm trying, blackmail / gaslight in this case. I'm trying to make you feel like all you need is me. Neighborhood, faked death in reverse, real death of the neighborhood. You don't need anyone outside of the house, just me. And I'm trying to convince you of that. When someone hurts me, I try to hurt them back rather than forgive. And instead of me forgiving you, I just attack you and try to cause pain. Burial. Rather than me forgiving you, I just attack you and try to cause pain. Burial. He told on himself because if this was in response to getting served with the papers, then what he said there is very prevalent because I need to hurt you as bad as you hurt me. And you're putting a final ending to our marriage. I need to put a final ending to you. Thief in reverse. I'm giving you what you're giving me. You're giving me a final ending. I'm giving you a final ending. MICA told me on numerous occasions that she feared John Paul and just wanted to escape him. What can we know about that? Feared John Paul and just wanted to escape him. Fired in reverse, abuse, neglect. She feared him and wanted to escape him. Putting the pieces in place to do so with what she was filing. Fired in reverse can be either hiring a lawyer. I don't know if she did that or not. And or the paperwork that she was filing. So always holding a box of paperwork. Abuse, neglect. I feel like her fear was for a reason. fraud in reverse. She's telling the truth. She's telling the truth about the abuse that she wanted so badly to escape from. Our family is very supportive of one another, especially in this time of grieving. I believe that my sister Sierra is the appropriate person to step into MICA's shoes and continue what was started. Okay. So again, I will link all of that creator's information in the description. Okay, so now that we went through all that, let's do 2 rows of 5. I'm going to wrap this up for now. But let's do 2 rows of 5 from MICA, just to see if she can maybe give either more details or clarification or some kind of confirmation about what we talked about. Imprisonment, angels, ancestors, cleanup in reverse, man-made disaster, freedom. Trapped, an angel, made a mess, man-made disaster. He needed to be free by making a mess, trapping an angel, and destroying what could have been a different situation, all because he wanted to be free of her. Abuse, neglect in reverse, imprisonment, because he did not want it to come out about what was happening, because it would send him to prison, potentially. Angel, ancestor, lies in reverse underneath of it. This would just be a confirmation that when I referenced that as her, she's saying truth to that. Self-sabotage is what made this mess on his behalf. He self-sabotaged and it made a mess because he tried to trap an angel so he could be free. I think I'd word this, if I can't have you, nobody can type thing. Oh. Church in reverse under man-made disaster. That's pretty self-explanatory. Man-made disaster. Church in reverse. He did all this so he could maintain his image in front of the church. And then underneath of freedom, home in reverse. He wanted to be free from who he perceived himself to be trapped with in that situation where she didn't want to put up with his abuse anymore. I'm going to wrap this up for now. Let's do one last card, like a password or confirmation from MICA. Secrets kept, people knew. I redid these cards, and on the new card, I worded this as hidden organization or hidden organization. That to me, I know there's been a lot of posts like, why did no one help her? Why did no one step in a different way? Like people who may have known what was going on. I feel like this is saying that there's people on his end who knew and kept their mouth shut about, yes, what she was dealing with in terms of the abuse, but I feel like she has dirt on him. And I feel like there's also people who know about that and are not talking about it, like the skeletons in his closet. Can I have a confirmation about that? Confirmation of, are there people who know about MICA's being abused by him who also know that he has skeletons in the closet, and for some reason that has something to do with why they didn't help MICA? Aliens, people who don't belong. Like, you're not from here. You don't belong in this group. Outsiders. Are there people who know that and that? Outsiders. Should I end it or should I go there? Oh, beach in reverse. Okay, end it for now. I'm getting something about money laundering that's like bigger, like, and those people being the ones to keep quiet, but beach is reverse, so no go, no flow. Confirmation from MICA, no go, no flow. Mind control yourself. Okay, that's all for now. And that's like a checkout thing, like when you're scanning at checkout. Obey. I'm sorry. I said no go, no flow, right? Can I have a confirmation from MICA? Obey. I get the feeling like she was very funny, but like lost touch with it because of all the abuse. But like before the abuse, I feel like she was very funny. Like could probably, I don't know about stand up, but like could probably do that kind of thing. Anyway, please remember this is an energy reading. It's all alleged, my opinion, not fact. I'll probably loop back around to this as more comes out, but that's all for now. Thanks for watching.